Okay, we're recording and we're live. So it's all you now, Andrea.
Okay, whoops, I was gonna shoot.
Here, I'll share my screen to show the agenda.
Okay, oh.
Here, I got it. Can you see the agenda?
Yep, that's great. Okay, so we'll call our meeting to order at 3:07 on June 8th, 2023. We have Dale Perriott and Molly Taylor and Mike Kelso from the Stewardship Committee, Evan Clapper from the Grand County Commission. We have Katie Stevens representing the BLM via Zoom, and myself, the director, Andrea Brand. So first item of business is approval of the minutes. Did you folks get a chance to look those over?
I make a motion to approve the long minutes.
The transcript.
I'll second it.
Okay, so Molly made a motion and Mike seconded. Okay, all in, oh, any discussion? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Dale, did you say aye?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I've given no.
Okay, sorry, I missed it. Okay. All right. So agency reports, we'll look at budget. And
You want the detailed report? Or
I sent you the detail?
or do you want the budget report?
That one. Yep. Oh, that's right. I did send you. I just sent you what Christy sent me. That's right. Okay, so I have my glasses. Yay. All right, so the first page is once again not very well, thank you. Should we close a something?
I'll get this one.
Okay, thank you, Molly. So the audit is not complete yet. It'll be another week or two, according to Chris Baird. So we don't have any, the first page is not very meaningful. It's not accurate. You might recall from our last meeting, we believe we are carrying over from last year about $651,000 in our fund balance from 2022 into 2023. So that will show up after the audit on here. So we may as well just go to the second page. All right, so Sandflat's fees, they're about, based on what I have, because I enter all the remits, I'm showing about $9,000 more than they're showing, but I think things just haven't caught up with each other yet. So, so pretty close. And then the Sandflat's fees online, the third one down, I had about, we were, I think, 1,000 off. So that'll catch up. I mean, they were actually 1,000 ahead of me. So, and I think that's because of the way May is broken up. So, you know, because it's such a long month. So
Right,
anyway.
that's a huge difference in the online.
No, the online was only 1,000 different.
I mean, from the budget.
Oh, well, remember he put a lot more in the, remember last year we only made about 70,000.
Right,
And so he budgeted the same thing.
right, but that means the budget will be way off.
Yeah, the amount we'll bring in will be different
Yeah.
than what he projected. Last year we made about 70,000. And he had projected 95,000 last year, and he just carried it over again. Chris did. So yeah, we'll see where we end up. And I'm sorry I didn't look up where we were at this time last year. I could have done that. I didn't think to do that.
We probably all have it.
Yeah, I mean, I can look it up, my monthly remit totals. But anyway, I mean, when we get into the, well, you'll see when we get into this, we are down. But I think we're similar to what the parks are seeing. So we were before. So that's all I have on that page. And then the last page, there's a few things that are over 100%. So I just wanted to mention what they are. on office supplies and equipment. There's about almost $1,000 was spent for an Adobe Suite software. Mainly for Jason to reprint our brochures. And so we've never bought any software programs before like that. Jason has always just been really good at finding things for free online for a while. And but it's come to the point where we needed to get something. The prison needed things in a different format when we sent them the signs, and we needed to do it for the brochures because Dan Norris moved. And so we did I'll bring you the brochures in a little bit here. I'll grab some. But Jason, we did it all in-house this time, preparing it for printing. We usually would go through Dan Norris, who's a graphic artist. So anyway, that's why office supplies are over. And then contract professional services, the reason that's over is because we did pay for the 3 videos to run on channel 6, because you might recall they were concerned, Active Trails and Transportation was concerned about TRT funds, and Chris Baird was concerned about it. So they didn't want to fund any of that. So Sam Flats funded 3 of them to run just through June. And then the other $1,800 was spent for the RAISE grant application. I went in with Bill Stevens on that, not Bill Stevens, Bill Jackson, so that we could pay for Jones and DeMille to improve the grant along with us for the new application for this year. And I didn't plan on being involved in that or spending that. So that's why we're over on that. And then also, if you go down to inventory office equipment, I got a new computer. I think it had been like 7 years, which they like to switch them out, I don't know, every 3 to 5 years, but mine was just ridiculous. So that's why we're over on that. I didn't budget for it. So anyway, we'll be fine. There's we're not spending a lot of things in capital improvement, probably. I don't know. We're down 7% in our revenue. We were down when I met with you before. I wasn't too concerned. It was the beginning of and I'm not really that concerned, but it was the beginning of the season. But at the end of March, I went and did the numbers and we were down 22%. So I was really worried because that was like COVID year, but it's because it was so cold and the snow and everything. I went and called travel council and spoke with August, and he said the parks were seeing the same thing. They were at 2019 levels. So we did make some of it up. So now we're only down 7%. So I did talk to August yesterday, but I forgot to ask him. Anyway, I didn't call the parks, but I will. And I think we're probably similar to what they're seeing because, everybody just had a slower start.
I think
BLM had a slow start too. I think it's across the board.
What's
With the skiing this year, a lot of people stayed home and skied.
Yeah. Do you have any numbers for the BLM for?
Bill does. I don't know. He just mentioned to me that they're, we're a little lower than the normal spring.
Yeah.
What did you say this went through?
Oh, through May.
Through May.
Through May, we're down 7% for the year. So we'll see. Maybe.
And I don't know if this is the time to mention it, Andrea, but with the fee increase, I wouldn't worry too much about
Right. True.
balancing that budget because fall will be a little different, right?
Yeah. Yes, we'll have the fee increase in place. So. So anything on there that, they're all pretty basic, and you can see that as far as salaries and benefits, here we are, through 5 months of the year, and we've only spent 30% of our salaries and 36% of benefits. So as we discussed last time, Chris kind of put a bigger cushion, or I don't know, he kind of, it's more than we're going to spend. And then capital improvements, we can, the 2 big things on there was the entrance station and the shade structure in the yard. So, and it doesn't look like we're having issues with the entrance station. So I think we're going to wait on that. So that's money will probably, percentage of it will roll back over to next year, so I don't think we don't have any worries. It just was a little surprising to me at the end of March. I was like, oh my gosh, we're down 22%. But so, well, any questions about anything on there? It's all pretty normal, I think.
Well, yeah, just there's no way to adjust the budget for being down. You just have a negative, it'll just be a negative year.
Yeah,
Even in March, it was noticeable that numbers were gonna be down. and
Yeah.
The budget was up.
So,
It's paid $30 a piece for a wheel bearing seal. It should cost $5.
oh yeah, prices are just,
Ridiculous.
About $30 for a wheel bearing.
Better be a nickel.
um,
It
so,
was American made.
well, that's good. It was.
Yeah, it wasn't
That-
Chinese.
that's-
Bearing, I believe, was Chinese.
Okay,
All right, well, any questions about budget? We'll just. Okay, so we have a action item. Katie, do you want to talk about this, since this is your item?
Okay, the National Recreation Trail.
Yes.
So the Moab BLM has 5 national recreation trails. They are Fisher Towers, Slick Rock, Corona Arch, Grand Staff, and the Bar End Bike Trail. And we thought it would be really nice to also join that with a motorized trail. And what this means is it isn't really, I mean, it's like an Academy Award. There's this group that's actually administered by the Park Service, and there aren't that many national recreation trails in all of Utah. I think on BLM, there's only 7. So it's just a way of recognizing a trail as being sort of worthy of this award. So we would like to have a motorized trail as well. And we thought, what's the most popular? What's the most scenic? What's the acme of motorized trails? So we thought Hell's Revenge, and we discussed it over with Andrea, of course. And so we're in the process, and it's quite a lengthy process of nominating the Hell's Revenge Trail as a national recreation trail. So the BLM is asking the Stewardship Committee to just send us a letter of support for our nomination. Like I say, it's easier probably to get an Academy Award, but there's quite a few steps you have to take, and this is one of them, especially given that the trail, while on BLM land, of course, is operationally administered by Sand Flats. We would like the Stewardship Committee to give us a letter of support for this nomination.
Katie, are you gonna want the Grand County Commission to give a letter of support too?
Let me get Bill here, because he's actually doing the nomination.
Okay. Matt, you could just put the agenda on there where it says general business. I mean, at some point before we vote. But it just.
I think he would like it would be nice if the commission also would send a letter of support. And I thought maybe do letters of support from the Stewardship Committee automatically go to the commission or not? I don't know.
What did I just
Who
know?
is it addressed to?
It would be, who's it addressed to, Bill?
It would be, it's just to whom it may concern.
Or the Moab BLM?
It's.
Who are we sending a letter to?
endorsements one gets, the more likely these things are to be approved. So initially I thought, well, I can ask the Stewardship Committee. I can
Oh,
also.
Bill, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Katie always says this down way low. Can you hear me now?
A little better. Evan was asking who the letter should be written to.
Oh, okay. Just to whom it may concern, be fine. Really,
I'm unclear on who would make the determination of the trail status.
Oh, it's a National Park Service Committee.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So it's a committee or a division of the National Park Service but it crosses agencies. So these trails, like there's trails on the forest, I think there can even be trails on state parks.
and even cities, yeah. so
Right,
it's-
so it's a process by which the agency is vested in the Park Service. That happens to be where the deciders for this are.
Yeah,
So we would submit, we would hand the letter off to you, Bill, and you would submit it, or do we need to send it to the Park Service?
no, it would come to me and if you chose to go this way, an electronic version, just so it's on some kind of official letterhead is fine, because I have to upload these electronically anyway.
Oh, yeah, the process now is like, an electronic upload.
Yeah, there's
so-
no paper involved. And initially I had thought of going to the commission and to the stewardship committee and to the travel council and to the non-motorized trails group, but then
Motorized, you mean
I-
motorized?
whatever, yeah, but
We'll have
motorized, yeah. But now I realize they're all under the county umbrella anyway. So if there was something, let's say, if you choose to go this route from the stewardship committee, that would clearly indicate who people were representing, that would kind of roll everything into one, and that would be more than adequate. No, so Joe Blow, County Commission, Joe Blow the second, Motorized Trail Committee, that kind of thing.
But just the stewardship committee is fine too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Evan, you represent the county on the stewardship committee.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be, we've got 5 of them in our field office right now, National Recreation
named them.
Trails. The rest of BLM in Utah just got their second. So we're doing okay. And I've written the last 3, all of which have been successful. So I think I know what I'm doing. The biggest issue could be, and we'll find out, is that most of these trails are hiking trails or biking trails. So motorized trails are a little unusual, and for all I know, the Park Service will run out of the room screaming, but we'll see.
But it doesn't disallow motorized trails. We want to give it a try.
Yeah.
What do you
So-
think about it, Mike, as the jeeping representative?
Bill and I have already talked about it. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't have a problem with it. And then, and I know that, the Red Rock four-wheelers won't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of a recognition, like I say, an Academy Award, and it's just sort of a, feather in your cap to say that it's a national recreation trail. And when you do, where it really carries a lot of weight, Andrea, is when you apply for a grant or anything. I don't know, for some reason that people pay attention. So, if you applied for one of those state,
Well, it will be interesting because we are motorized here, part of it. So to see how that comes out.
yeah, and there are some other motorized trails, the majority of them aren't, but we would like to get a motorized trail on our list. So I don't want to spend a lot, just a letter from the stewardship committee supporting this would be great. Thank you.
Okay, just to clarify, I looked that up. It's the National Recreation Trails through the National Park Service, existing land-based and water-based trails. Great. It just wasn't written down or, yeah, great system.
And Katie, so the Slick Rock was one of the first national recreation trails in Utah, right? Or the first? I don't know if that was in the 70s.
I think it was the first, yes.
The first in the nation.
No,
No, in
I don't know about
Utah.
the nation, but the first in Utah. Yes, so the Slick Rock Trail, and of course it is motorized too, so as well.
So it's Slick Rock, Grandstaff.
Corona Arch, Fisher Towers, and the Bar and Bike System.
What about the Spanish Trail?
Well, that's a National Historic Trail. So yes, that's a recognized trail, but it's in a different category. It's a National Historic Trail.
Yeah, and Slick Rock's a motorized trail,
Yes, it is. Mhm.
So,
and so is Barham proper. Anyway. I think-
But
Oh.
we submit the application and somebody else judges it. So that's what he was saying. He just doesn't know, you know, you never know how the judges will receive your application, right? But we're trying to make it the best application we can so that we bring home the bacon.
so I think we want to have some further discussion. With Dale, you have some concerns about it? Or comments? Let's make sure.
Can you hear me, Katie?
Yes?
And I really appreciate this, but have you folks taken a real good look at our current political situation with Hell's Revenge and all the troubles we've had with noise? And
Oh,
where if we get an award for Hell's Revenge and it's in international renown status,
but it is already, Dale.
yeah, but when it's like Bears Ears was just fine until they made a monument. And now everybody's there and it's getting ruined.
Well, there doesn't seem to be.
I
any-
really,
Yeah.
I think,
Go
I
ahead.
love the idea, and I absolutely want a motorized trail to be recognized. But I think one of the others might be more politically correct at this time.
Well, there isn't, you're getting at the fact that maybe it would increase visitation if you're
Yeah.
talking about, you know, the
But
neighborhood. issue.
we,
But there is actually very little indication that these awards, it's a pretty small audience, you know, and we didn't have a huge bump in use in Bar M. There doesn't seem to be much indication that these increase visitation. It has not happened with the others.
okay, well,
So-
you've done your homework. Just remember, just
Yes,
remember.
yes, we are aware.
I've
of
been
the-
listening to what I've had my butt chewed a whole lot in this last year.
Right, right. And, you know, Slick Rock's one already, so we have one up
Okay,
there already.
okay,
So,
just-
but there doesn't see, if you look up the National Recreation Trails website, I mean, you'll see, you know, the list and the map, but it doesn't
Uh-huh.
seem that it isn't like there's more people on Bar M now since it got it.
Okay.
What it gets is a little placard on the bulletin board and it gets a listing on a website.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if
So I don't think
Yeah.
everybody in town will be yelling at us that we're increasing the noise near their house. There's their trail system.
okay, I just, you know.
I know,
current
I get you.
Situation isn't all that good.
You're so politically correct, Dale. I'm impressed.
It's really nice that to think that the motorized trails are getting recognition.
Right.
But you know me, I'm pretty stealthy as healthy.
Yeah. So you can see, I don't know, maybe Matt can.
Thank you, Matt, for finding this.
Well, Katie, I thought the only trail in this
Thanks, Katie.
area that's on the national list was the Slick Rock Trail. I thought that was the only trail. I didn't know about the other ones.
Slick Rock's the older one. The other nominations have been a little bit more recent. Well, Fisher Towers has been for a while. But I think you have to really zoom in to, oh, the Bering Sea, that's good. Let's go to the Bering Sea.
There's a big long trail.
You know what you're showing though is the scenic and historic trails. You're
Yeah,
not showing the National Recreation Trails.
yeah.
That's the Spanish Trail. So on that same website, that's you clicked on the wrong map. So National Trail System, there, down the third, yeah, there you go. Yes, National Recreation Trails.
That's as far as I got.
And who would draft this letter?
Bill, from the Stewardship Committee.
Yeah.
Andrea?
Okay, well, I'll take a stab at it and we can see how the vote falls, but I would make a motion to direct staff to draft a letter of support to the BLM for the nomination of Helzer Bench as a
So
national.
if you want to just go on one of them that's not Slick Rock, Matt, just to show people like what it ends up. What ends up is if you get chosen and you get listed on this website.
We don't have to.
So whereas there's pretty pictures and stuff. Try Bar M because I know Bar M has some nice geez. Maybe their
Evan was making a
website is
motion.
where.
Yeah.
The
There we
letter.
go, there we go.
So, mhm.
There you go.
So see,
Okay.
that's all it is. I mean, it's just a recognition of a trail that people like. So just photos, maps, information about the trail, like how much grade there is and
Bill
it's
Stevens.
It says contact
I
us.
think our county should put plaques by all these trails now.
well, we have at the ones that we have, it's a little like just 8x8 metal. They send us little 8x8 metal signs, says National Recreation Trail, and yes, we put it up on the bulletin board.
Yeah, we have the emblem at Slick Rock.
Yes, just a little emblem, just our little award.
Okay, so a motion is on the floor here from Evan.
I'll second.
Okay.
I didn't know you were gonna go for it.
You can't really convince me. I don't know what.
It doesn't have to be unanimous.
I will. One way or the other, I'm gonna get a bunch of.
Well, sometimes people pay attention when it's a split vote and they say, oh, why wasn't it unanimous?
Okay.
So,
Any further, okay, we have a second by Dale. And any further discussion? All right, and let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Okay, Katie,
Mhm.
passed unanimously.
Yes, I thank you. I thank you. So,
Okay. All right, so I don't have a picture of this, but we'll go to discussion items and just wanted to let you know that I did get the campgrounds in H that the BLM had closed for us. I did get those seated in March. And what I did was I shrunk the footprint of what I had seated. I had the same company come down, but it was about $2,700 instead of $4,000, over $4,000. And it looks nice. I think he seated, we had 4 campgrounds for him to, 4 campsites for him to seed. And so I just kind of had them seated in the front and left things in the back where people aren't, so that it's obvious in the front, don't go in here. And it was pretty obvious in 2 of them with the way the boulders were anyway, but this just, I think, was a lot better. So we saved some money, but we got it done. And I think the back will just, there's a lot of vegetation around that. So things will continue to blow in, I hope. The next thing is, this is a OHV education course guide draft video that Mark Finley put together, and Matt is going to show it. And it's, I think it's about 10 minutes long. And this one is not finalized yet. Mark just sent it to me like 2 days ago. And so we're looking for people's input. You'll see a lot of the videos that have already been out there combined with it. But he's just trying to educate people that want to take the test or need to take the test. And so I think it's, anyway, see for yourself, but I think you do a good job.
Hold on, I'm bringing it up.
Okay, and I'm gonna run and get the new brochures because I didn't bring enough in.
There goes Matt, too. Everybody left. We can't hit the play button. Well, there it is.
I can hit the play button. Are you guys ready?
Play the video.
Yeah.
Okay, here we
Yeah,
go.
nothing else going on.
Let me know if you can hear it though.
No.
No.
Throughout Utah, off-highway vehicle use has grown tremendously. And Moab, with its magnificent landscape, has become an epicenter for tens of thousands of OHV enthusiasts. Here in the state of Utah, you're required to complete an online education course and test to operate or even rent an OHV. That includes all types of off-highway vehicles, motorcycles, rock crawlers, UTVs, and all of the side-by-sides. In this video, we will cover
They're
multiple.
giving away all your secret spots.
Can you guys hear it?
No sponsor secret.
No.
I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah,
I'll show you a secret spots.
Can you guys hear the video?
Yeah,
You got it, okay. I'll keep-
Subjects from the state's OHV education course, but most importantly, explain why these are such important issues for everyone that enjoys off-highway vehicle recreation.
We are very privileged to have our public land system, and with that privilege comes responsibility and stewardship.
There's many places in the country you can wheel and you can Jeep, but there's very few places in the country that have the kind of terrain and traction and natural beauty that are all combined here in Moab.
Keep in mind, it is not an amusement park up here. It can be very dangerous. In the whole state of Utah, this is the #1 instance for search and rescues.
Coming out prepared and planning ahead, knowing where you're going and having a map with you is critical. Don't travel alone. Make sure you inspect your vehicle before you go out. Make sure it's suitable for the trail that you're going to be going on. Bring plenty of water, 1 gallon per person per day, and lots of food.
Cell coverage is very spotty up here. Let somebody know when you're going to be back and what you're doing.
Alcohol. In Utah, it is illegal for any occupant of an OHV to consume alcohol. In this challenging landscape, both driver and passengers need to be aware.
no
only
alcohol
of their best
for
judgment.
passengers.
That's what he said.
Helmets. Some of the
Yes.
best trails include
Yes.
challenging obstacles and dangerous drop-offs. And that's why Utah law requires anyone under 18 years old to wear a helmet. It's aren't required by law for adults, but they are definitely recommended and can save your life in a rollover.
That was alcohol is recommended for adults.
I was trying to see if there's a,
Helmets.
Oh,
trying to see if there was a volume on our,
Obtaining youth OHV certificate to legally
well, we have
operate
the
an
audio
off-highway.
off a little bit, but that's okay.
Too much? Andrea, is it okay, the volume?
It's,
no, it's pretty low. And I was
and
wondering,
the film's a little herky jerky. It's more slideshow than film.
But we can watch it on our own, right? Or are we trying
Yeah.
to approve this?
no, you can watch it on your own and send me comments. That's fine. We're
Uh,
not approving anything.
One of the things is, do you remember?
You know, I didn't see, he sent me his first version and then yesterday he said, I'm sending you another version. So actually I didn't watch this one.
It does say review copy, but what's happening is the audio is off from the
Oh, because the other one he sent me was really good.
video.
No, you guys, the reason it's off because I'm projecting it through Zoom. So,
Oh, do you
yes.
want me to go on it on my email here?
yeah, if you can play it on your screen there, it'd be better, it'd be more in sync, let's put it that way.
All right, well, before I share it, let me,
Oh, that's cool.
this is Jason's computer. No, wait a minute, how do I go to, okay, go to my email. Sorry.
Did Jen have a thing earlier about having
Ally?
yeah,
Oh, well, actually,
I was gonna say maybe just first names.
yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about that. Let me see where his first one is. Review copy, June 6th, review copy. They're all June
I was
6th.
playing the one you sent me yesterday.
Yeah, let me
There
see.
it is. You just click on it.
But is this the same one? Wait, this must be this is the updated link. See, that's what I think I sent to Matt. No, I didn't.
Mine says review copy. Do not share to the public.
This is 5:07. Okay, so the other one I think was the morning.
Mine's
This is- No, that says 5:07 too.
Yeah, just hit that.
All right, let me just hit it and see if it's the. But see, this is updated. All right, well, this is the one you wanted to show us anyway.
Yeah. you
Now
gotta
I'll
hit-
push,
you
now
gotta
I
hit
have to,
share your.
yeah, I
desktop.
have to push share. Wait a minute, where's, now I don't feel like I'm in Zoom. Why am I not in Zoom?
Here is it.
But how come I can't, I don't have
That
the,
other,
I don't have the,
I think that window you were in the bottom for a second, that tab.
Yeah,
This one?
go down to the bottom tab where it has the Google for.
oh,
Or
No.
the blue one to the right.
that's what I went to. Oh, I thought that's what I went to. Now it's not going to.
Well, that is Zoom. Oh.
That is Zoom. Usually it's not that hard to share my screen.
Yeah,
No.
go into Zoom and just hit the,
Let me go to you.
you see the green button at the bottom?
Here's you. Okay. Yep.
Hit the green button at the bottom. It should ask you what you.
Why don't we see it?
Right here. You're good. Just hit share over here.
Yeah, but I'm not sharing the,
Oh.
not sharing the right thing.
Click on the other tab, at the top. The OH, yeah, that one. Bingo, there you go. You got it.
Okay, sorry.
Hit play.
There we go.
Throughout Utah, off-highway vehicle use has grown tremendously, and in Moab, with its magnificent landscape, it has become an epicenter for tens of thousands of OHV enthusiasts. Here in the state of Utah, you're required to complete an online education course and test to operate or even rent an OHV. That includes all types of off-highway vehicles, motorcycles, rock crawlers, UTVs, and all of the side-by-sides. In this video, we will cover multiple subjects from the state's OHV education course, but most importantly, explain why these are such important issues for everyone that enjoys off-highway vehicle recreation.
We are very privileged to have our public land system, and with that privilege comes responsibility and stewardship.
There's many places in the country you can wheel and you can jeep, but there's very few places in the country that have the kind of terrain and traction and natural beauty that are all combined here in Moab.
Keep in mind, it is not an amusement park up here. It's can be very dangerous. In the whole state of Utah, this is the #1 instance for search and rescues.
Coming out prepared and planning ahead, knowing where you're going and having a map with you is critical. Don't travel alone. Make sure you inspect your vehicle before you go out. Make sure it's suitable for the trail that you're going to be going on. Bring plenty of water. 1 gallon per person per day and lots of food.
Cell coverage is very spotty up here. Let somebody know when you're gonna be back and what you're doing.
Alcohol. In Utah, it is illegal for any occupant of an OHV to consume alcohol. In this chapter,
Why did it stop? Oh,
emerging landscape, both driver and passengers need to be aware and always using their best judgment. Helmets. Some of Moab's best trails include challenging obstacles and dangerous drop-offs. And that's why Utah law requires anyone under 18 years old to wear a helmet. Helmets aren't required by law for adults, but they are definitely recommended and can save your life from rollover. Kids under the age of 18 must obtain a youth OHV certificate to legally operate an off-highway vehicle. Search online for a youth OHV education program near you.
It's very important to stay on the trail or on the road. We have very unique biological soil tests, and any impact that we have on that creates these really long-term damages. And being very careful to let people pass in a way where you're not creating resource damage beyond the road is critical in an area like this. Don't make trails any wider than they already are. Remember that obstacles are part of the fun. don't widen the trail by going around those obstacles. Travel slowly, obeying speed limits, and avoid high banking. Anytime that we are not driving directly in the middle of the trail, we're creating this phenomenon called high banking. So we're actually digging down where the road goes, and we have high banks on the side. It really is a huge problem, and it causes permanent damage. Nobody wants to see fences out there, but in order for us to protect plant life, there's areas where we've had to install fences. If we can keep people on trail and on the roads, then we can keep these areas as natural as possible.
You have to be curious. When you're going up some of those steep hills, you have to look ahead and see if anybody's coming down. You don't want to bump in the middle, especially on some of these steep grades. Be respectful for other people. Drive up, come up on somebody, slow way down, you don't dust them out. You know, use your hand signals, show how many is behind you as you go on through. The last person that's behind you, tell them what the last one, that way they can continue on. You know, just learn to be courteous to each other. Just fight with respect.
When you come to the backcountry here in Moab, there's a handful of things we can certainly do to try to minimize our impact on the backcountry. One of the things is study the tread lightly principles. Those are very simple. You can find those online. As you drive down the trails, you look to the right, you look to the left, you see these little islands of vegetation. This is where all the backcountry animals live. This is their home. The deserts of southeast Utah are very fragile. We have something here called cryptobiotics. It basically includes desert plants. And a single tire track will destroy.
People come to Moab because it is such a beautiful place. BioCrust are a part of maintaining that. They're literally the glue.
Oh, is that me?
I don't know how.
Are you streaming a different movie over there, sucking up all
I
that?
said it, you know.
She's doing some porn or whatever. It's just right when I hit send.
You get it?
What that means is the things that the BioCrust usually do that we really depend on aren't happening anymore. We can see lots of dust getting produced in an area that gets disturbed. We can see a reduction in the plants after that BioCrust is destroyed. I think a lot of what happens to biological soil crust happens because people just don't realize that it's not just dirt. It's important to stay on the trail so that we're not causing damage that isn't necessary. We want to get out in our Jeeps and on our ATVs and on our mountain bikes and hiking, but if we can stay on the trail and not widen that trail, we can have so much less effect on the ecosystem.
Need to tell the cows. Yeah.
When you're into Moab, you'll see rock depressions filled with rainwater. These water potholes are home to amazing creatures like fairy shrimp and tadpole shrimp who literally come to life within hours after a rain. Their whole life cycle is just a few days or weeks, or until the pool dries. So if you see a pothole along the trail, admire this amazing life, but stay out of the pothole, even if it's dry. The exception to this is if there is water right on the designated trail, drive through it. Going off trail to avoid the water widens the trail and causes more damage to the fragile landscape. When you see mud on the trail, a lot of people, I don't want to get my vehicle all muddy, so they're going to drive around that mud. That's not what we want to do. We want to drive through the mud, but we want to do it slowly. So when you see that water, drive through it, come out on the other side, and enjoy your day. Here in Moab, we have designated wilderness areas. By definition, there is no motorized vehicles allowed within these wilderness areas. There's also private lands mixed in with our public lands. So be respectful of private property and obey the signs that you come across when you're out exploring. Stick to the designated routes, plan ahead, know where you're going before you head out. It's up to us to educate ourselves before we come to the area, learn the lay of the land, learn the rules, the regulations, the do's, the don'ts before you come out. Look at the weather conditions. Do your homework. And part of that homework is is learning where your vehicle belongs, but know where you're heading and know that the trail that you're doing is appropriate for your vehicle. One of the best resources to help you stay on designated routes is to use ELM georeference maps available from resources such as Gaia, Avenza, or Onyx, which are all free apps on the internet.
Anytime you're traveling in a natural area, you want to leave what you find, but also take out everything that you brought in with you. Things like human waste and all of your trash need to be packed out when you leave an area like this so that we can keep the pristine value of the land.
Even if you're driving by and you see somebody else's soda can that they left on the side of the trail, it'll take you 2 seconds to stop, pick it up, throw it in your cooler. That will keep our trails clean, keep it beautiful for years to come.
There's nothing worse than to be out in the desert on a beautiful summer day, see the white flowers in bloom, but realize they're not white flowers. White paper, yeah, it's usually toilet paper or even worse, baby wipes, and it's a big problem that's happening in the backcountry. We need to bring a Ziploc bag or a wag bag and pack all that stuff out. Our bacteria levels in the soils here are next to none, so things don't decompose like they do in the forest or in any other environment. If you bring it into the backcountry, please bring it out.
Utah is unique in that you can take these off-highway vehicles in through town and you can drive directly to trailheads. And in order for us to be able to continue to do that, it's important for us to be respectful, especially with the residents in town.
Here in Moab, we have a unique privilege being able to drive our street legal UTVs out to the trails.
Not all states allow UTVs to travel on designated roadways and on paved roads.
For your UTV to be street legal in Moab, you need a license plate, turn signals, rear view mirror,
It's a rolling stop.
protective muffler, a driver's license, and insurance to operate as a street legal ATV.
Besides the equipment for a UTV to be street legal, it must have a DMV issued license plate from your home state and meet all Utah street legal requirements. If your home state does not issue license plates to UTVs, your vehicle cannot be street legal in Utah, and it must be trailered or towed to the trailheads. If your vehicle is not street legal, you also need to purchase a non-resident OHV permit, either online or in town. If your UTV is street legal in Moab, no permits are required to ride the trails.
UTV noise has become an issue in Moab because the loudest UTVs going by disrupt the conversations you're having inside your homes. It's important to be extra courteous about driving through neighborhoods at night. Plan your trail rides so that you can avoid it.
I think an important thing that UTV community can do to help and assist our community with the noise issue is simply obey the speed limits as they're posted in our neighborhoods.
The loudest thing you can do on your UTV is accelerating hard. So in Moab, slow down, don't accelerate fast. Avoid residential neighborhoods, especially at night. Be respectful, be courteous, and be a good steward of our sport.
Respect. It goes a long way. There's the respect for Mother Nature. There's respect for the trails. There's respect for this magnificent beauty that we call Moab. There's also respect for the other users, mountain bikers, equestrians, hikers, all of the day use people that are here. Respect for each other, respect for them on the trail, and respect for the people of the community of Moab. But make sure when you're here, do the right thing. Educate yourself before you get here. What you bring to the trail, make sure you pack out of the trail. Everybody you encounter, treat them with kindness, dignity, and respect.
All right.
Wish we would have had that 30 years ago. I tried.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Talked to the governor, Fred Hayes, the governor.
All right, so we're just seeing that review.
Yeah, and if you have any, I did, as I was watching again, I was remembering that I wanted to, I did send it to Josh Green to look at as well. And I could send it, I'll talk to Mark in August, because this is, August is funding this.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that, maybe with Chase Pilley to just make sure, or Josh will probably know that what they say about the street legal is right. Because I don't think you can get the permit in town anymore. You have to do it all online.
Yeah, he did mention the
He
online.
said- Yeah, he said online or in
there's-
town.
A lot of the outfitters have iPads, and at the MIC, they have them. So you're technically doing it online, but you can walk in and do it.
Okay, and they can help you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
that's-
so that might be a right to have it.
Yeah, if the guys at the booth don't know that. Probably good to-
Oh, yeah, yeah, we didn't know that.
Robert, we'll go.
They might be, I don't know. But I know all the rental companies, because you're supposed to have it to rent.
Yeah.
So it's in
Oh,
your
yes, they
best
got-
interest to be able to help you get that.
And so what I was gonna say, just, we haven't completely followed up with Ally. So I need to do that. We did go online and look, and she didn't have any privacy settings on any of her social media.
Yeah,
So that kind of, anyway,
I
but
wonder if it would be worth taking last names out, or if it's.
yeah. I mean, we can have him do that. And I mean, it's a little bit more work to have Chase do it, but we can, if that's the way we go, we can have him go and pull it and do whatever he needs to do to, or have Mark edit it, bring him back, give
Was
the
she,
videos back to him.
A BLM employee,
Yeah, she's no longer.
yeah, I wonder if it's worth just kind of.
I was gonna,
Katie, I don't know if you're still on, but there was concerns in the past about sharing people's names, and then they were
getting,
being targeted on social media,
yeah,
and that was brought up by Jen. So I don't know if there's any kind of BLM policy or SOP around, public. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. It's just, with a unusual last name, I mean, it would be pretty easy to find, but I don't know. She doesn't work for BLM anymore. She lives on the Front Range. So maybe, I don't know what Jen told you to do, but I will point out that Merrimack is misspelled. There's no K in it. But it's not worth redoing it just for that, but Merrimack does not have a K. It's right in the beginning where it says Merrimack View.
okay. Well, I can talk to Jen again. I mean, I'd be happy to take a phone call, call her or have her call me and ask her what she, would like. And then, would she like her last name removed or her?
Yeah,
full-
I mean, I think we just
and then
need to
talk
ask
to
her, right?
What?
I think we need to ask Ally. If she
Yeah.
still works for us, I'd ask her tomorrow, but she doesn't. So yeah, we just need to ask her what she wants.
Okay. And is Jen away for a while or?
Yeah, she'll be back. She's not gone, but she's hard to reach. You can try her phone, but you may have to expect a phone call back. Because
Okay.
she's out of cell range for a bit,
Okay,
on and off.
all right. Yeah, when I was reviewing the minutes, I was like, oh, I remember we looked her up online and noticed there was no privacy settings on her Facebook or Instagram or anything. We could go in and just, I'm not a friend with her online. I could look at everything she had out there. But anyway, because we were looking to see if we could see some of the negative comments, but we couldn't. But anyway, so yeah, I'll follow up with Jennifer and see if I can get her phone number if she wants to call me and see where we go from there. So,
Okay,
but we asked around, like Jennifer hasn't received any, I haven't received, we asked different people. And it was just after the HB 180 test came out though. She's been in that video, 5 tips for 5 years, for 5 years.
That was his name.
Yeah. No, but he didn't receive any,
Right,
but
so maybe it's.
Andrea, on that note with the test, I don't know if you've seen some of the videos out there that, Northern Salt Lake people have hosted, expert writers talking about the test. There's one.
we're losing you. You're broken.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Maybe turn your camera off.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting
Yeah.
clearer. You were pixelated
What
too.
about the videos?
Yeah, there's a bunch of videos, well, at least 2 that I saw about the test, about the Utah HOV test. And they're criticizing it. One guy is totally making fun of it. It's like, why? This is stupid. The whole thing his whole summary. The other one is actually a little bit better, where it's 3 guys interviewing each other about the test and the goods and bads of it and stuff. So so there's a lot of social media stuff out there about this exam or the test, and it's free, but yet if you're young, if you're under 18, you have to pay money to do it, which doesn't make any sense, for a lot of people and stuff. So yeah, so just Google it. There's a lot of videos out there that emphasize it, but yeah, but me personally, I haven't been
from old, right? The younger, the below 18 test has been around a while. And so I guess that one has charged money for a while. So I guess they didn't change it when they went to this one.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But I haven't been, I'm not popular on social media, but just with my other.
Oh, Evan says that he thinks you're paying for a class with the one for kids.
Kids, okay, problem. Yeah, I don't know.
So there are videos out there on it that are derogatory or not.
Correct.
So that's.
Okay, well, if you have any other comments about that, I can get them to Mark. If you saw any other mistakes, or you can watch it again, I can email it to you. If you want to watch it again, if you have any interest. I don't like the way those words, maybe that's because I've had a few concussions in my life, but I have to look away when those words come up. I totally have to look away.
And I don't know, we don't really, well, on BLM, we don't have any, well, we have a few wilderness areas, but he's probably referring to wilderness study areas.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but the impact, the message is the same. So I don't know if that's, and then up in the forest, and it depends how far, this is for the whole state though, right?
No, this is a Moab centered. Well, he did it as a Moab centered one.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that's worth correcting, because I think the point is keep your wheels on the road, and I think that's fine. But for the record, most of what they're talking about there is wilderness study areas. We have one wilderness area.
Yeah.
There are some up in Emery County though, which isn't that far away. So maybe we just leave it.
Did you get this sent to you? He sent it to Jennifer.
No, not to me.
I can send it to you. Or you can get it from her, but I'm happy. I'll just send it to everybody. Okay. All right. We better keep moving. No. Need to make... Okay, let's speed it up. Okay. Katie, you're next. What do you want to tell us about the Raptor route EA being finished?
Well, that's also known by the name Kestrel, and that is the last piece. It's not finished on the ground, but the decision record has been signed and the environmental assessment done, and that is to extend Falcon Flow down to, it's around Campground H, right, Andrea?
Yes.
Yes, and so I talked to Trail Mix, and it's getting too hot out there, so we thought maybe the building, it's only 2 miles long or 1.9 or something like that, but it will get bicycles out of the crack. So I think that benefits everybody, motorized and non-motorized alike, because when Days Crack has 2 cars and a bike, or even a bike and 1 car, it's not a pretty place. So this will route the bikes around Days Crack and have them come out, where hopefully one day we'll have our nice bike path along the flatter parts of Sand Flats. So this is sort of the last piece of the Raptor route, and Trail Mix is going to start for National Public Lands Day, which is September 23rd. So they've got that kickoff kind of scheduled to start construction on that bike trail.
Okay. I didn't know that part of it. I knew it was fall, planned for fall, but that's.
Well, I talked him into let's making a do of it. Let's make it, if it's going to be fall, why don't we start it on National Public Lands Day and give a little bit of a kickoff that way.
Okay.
But you might see it referred to as Kestrel, because the Raptor route consists of Eagle Eye. Oh, what's the middle one called?
Hawk Slide, Falcon Flow.
Falcon Flow.
Kestrel needs
Kestrel.
something, but it shouldn't be run, because Kestrels don't run.
No, so,
So maybe we can, I picked all the names so far.
oh, okay.
Worked with them with Maddie a little bit, like Flo, but I was like,
Yeah.
no, they're gonna be birds.
Yeah, so, and then one day when we get that dedicated bicycle trail along the Sand Flats Road, we can get the bikes off the Sand Flats Road from top to bottom.
Well, maybe we'll have a paved.
That's what I
Or
mean.
bike
That's what I
and or
mean.
bike
This is-
lanes.
This mountain bike type trail will be come down at the former campground H, and that's where Sand Flats kind of gets flat. So, our dream of a separated bike trail, then it can join up with that. But even so, from a safety point of view on the highway, not to mention more fun for the cyclists, but it gets you off the part of the Sand Flats Road where visibility is really poor and curves are really tight.
Right.
Where at least you've got more visibility on your side as a motorist or bicyclist.
Definitely. Okay, International Dark Sky application. We're gonna have a night sky event June 23rd up at the Slick Rock Bike Trail parking lot, and Crystal White will head that up again. She's a NASA ambassador. She used to work here, and she did them last summer, although I think she got most of them got rained out, or cloudy. And then the year before I think she was able to do all of them. The weather was good timing for the weather. So anyway, she's going to do another one in July and August, and then in the fall. No, that'll be it. She'll do June, July, August. We'll do 4 of them.
There's a total solar eclipse in October that we're like in the line of.
We're not completely in the line, but
Pretty good.
she won't be here she's going to be busy. But yeah, we
It's
could.
not night skies, but it might be that well. Probably goes with stars and whatnot, flowers.
Yeah, maybe we can do something too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so someone else can do it.
yeah. Yeah, she was talking about that with me before, but I know
I
she's
think that
busy.
we might see people coming just for that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Okay, so anyway, the process is to I was going to work on it in January, but I didn't get to it because the raise grant, took over my life. So I'm going to be working on it in July, and I'll need letters like from the commission and the city, and I'll be coming to different people, or I'll be writing them and getting approval or whatever. It's like a 2-year process to get that. So I need to get it moving, and we'll keep monitoring at night too, how dark the sky is in those 7 parking lots. Fee change was approved by the RAC board. Yeah, oh my gosh, it was such a big part of my life. So I went to Cedar City and it was approved unanimously by the group there, the RAC board and Resource Advisory Council, Utah Resource Advisory Council. And now we're just waiting for the BLM state director to sign the letter. And then we can implement. So hopefully it's going to be signed by July, and we can implement it, before Labor Day. And all that will change this year, what's planned is drop the $5 a day and just have the $10 a week, and then drop the trailer fees.
And the BLM would like to thank you, Andrea. It's quite an ordeal. I've done it for the BLM campgrounds, and it's like, oh my goodness. If City Market had to go through this just to raise their prices, we wouldn't have any raised prices. So I know you were put through the ringer, Andrea, but you
I kind of
came out
was
shining, and they were. I listened in. I didn't go to Cedar City, but 2 of our managers did go over to Cedar City, and I heard you did great, and I saw you did great on the Zoom.
Thank you. Yeah, did.
And then all the changes in out years, the good news is they're all in one package. So it isn't like you have to, when you go to raise the camping fee, or you go to raise the yearly fee, they're all in the same package. When you choose, they're approved. When you choose to implement them is when you may implement them.
Right, we've got, the whole range was approved, so we would go back to the commission for those as we make those changes, but it's been approved at the federal level. So I won't have to do it again. I'll be retired before it happens next time. Okay, so
But your
staff
PowerPoint was
cuts-
great.
what, Katie?
Your PowerPoint was great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I kept cutting it down because I was told lots of pretty pictures and I put lots of pretty pictures in, some of them from Mark Finley too. And then I was told I had too many. So because we did 2 dry runs via Zoom, well, the first one with the state director. So it was quite, I mean, I wasn't the only one there, but you know, there was other people presenting, but it was quite a process. So anyway, we've done it. So thank you for your support, Katie. Katie did a lot of editing on the business plan, and so.
Well, only because I've done them. I've done a couple for Price and I did the 3 Moab business plans. So, but every time we do them, it seems there's more hoops to jump through. So, but all hoops have been navigated and it is approved. And the letter Andrea mentioned is really just pro forma. There is no, the state director cannot override the RAC. He is just signing that the RAC approved these, which is a federal requirement for the federal lands and whatever it's called, the way we charge fees. And it's just getting the letter written and get in front of him to sign it. So coming soon, no more daily fee for Sand Flats, only weekly.
All right. So the other one is, we've already shown the one video from Travel Council. So it looks like Active Trails and Transportation does have funding now. So it'll be $9,600, and I will present it though to the commission on the 20th because Maddie's not going to be here. So we hope to be able to show 8 videos on channel 6. Right now, there's the 3 videos, 5 tips for an awesome web adventure, Moab's living soils, and biking. So we'll have those 3, and then we'll have backcountry tips with John Marshall will be on there. I didn't bring the list with me. It's all the ones we had before. The only thing that's new this year is the Moab living soils and the backcountry tips from John Marshall. So there'll be a hiking, a biking, do it like a local music video. So yeah, so I'll come to the commission. Hopefully if there won't be any issues, then you guys will approve. I mean, those are all videos that have been approved already by the commission and Travel Council. So, and so anyway, they'll run from June through November on the new contract. And so, okay, what else? Youth grant update. Katie, do you know anything? All I know is I put it in, met the deadline, and now we're just waiting. I forgot to ask Jen if she had any more updates. She didn't have any updates when I went to the RAC board about it.
No, I haven't heard anything, so I don't know. I know you need to know, but
no, that's fine. It's not till next year. So
yeah.
I mean, if I know by budget time, it would be nice. So
okay, I'll try and remember to ask her.
yeah, and I think that's a month earlier this year, so sometime in August. Okay, so visitor guide. I mean, this is a visitor guide you're familiar with, but we made some nice additions to it this time. Thank you. Yeah, so mainly we just updated, and we added these QR codes throughout. So we have like a link to go to learn more about pets.
Hold it up to the camera.
Oh, what?
See, hold it up to the camera, the barcode.
On the camera?
Yeah, just hold it up. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I'm just trying to show. Perfect.
See, Matt's the MC.
Oh, that's all you
Knows the
wanted?
importance of the vision.
I thought it was gonna go too.
It's
Okay,
the visual we wanted.
so you can go to online, pay your online. You can go to the OHV on page 4. You can go to the OHV test, the HB 180 test, learn more information on the state site. You can go to the group reservations. You can watch the Moab Living Soils video on the page 7. You can link to that. There's nothing in the center hold there. Oh, you can link to our 50 years of Slick Rock video. So anyway, we just put it all in there. And then on the back, our website. So, and then there, I mean, obviously there's some updates to the maps. We added the staircase.
No QR codes for the maps. Oh, wait, here's one. Stand corrected.
And then, so anyway,
Now, are you guys surviving with your first come, first served campsite? Well,
yes,
okay, great.
we are. We are. In fact,
Awesome.
in
It's
fact,
just
we have.
amazing that you don't want to try to micromanage it, like, hey, this one's open, but you just let people go find it.
No.
Okay.
You know, it's working really
Awesome.
well. And where we have our problems is in our reserved group sites.
Okay,
And I only have 6, and
yeah.
they sure cause issues at
Yeah.
times.
What's happened? People
Well, we're
occupying them without reservations?
We had like somebody like stay, even though they knew they were supposed to get out, so the next person could come in. They stayed an extra night. That was just last week. So we went and gave the money back to that other person. We gave him 3 nights. We refunded him completely. He moved to.
Make them move. Oh.
Well, I wasn't
Oh,
working that day, but
Yeah.
my staff like went up there and talked to both groups, and he's like, no, I'll be fine. I'll go to another site. So she found him another site, you know,
Okay.
and then I went and refunded him everything the next 2 days later. But so, and then we're having like big groups that are not putting their tents where they should. So we're gonna have to kind of think about that with we didn't have, I mean, these sites have been open since 2020. Of course, we had COVID and everything, but I mean, we're just starting to see these big groups with like putting their tents everywhere. I actually had law enforcement call one of the groups because it was a school from near Aspen, and they came like 3 times, and each time they did bizarre stuff. So I don't know, there's just a certain different mentality when somebody has a reservation. They think they're entitled to certain things where we don't really see that with the first come, first serve. So I'm really happy with first come, first serve. It's just like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine if I even had one loop that was all reservation. And well, we talked about it last time, and it's in the minutes how Jennifer says people just aren't showing up. And then the site is vacant and people want to camp and they can't. And we do get a lot of people happy that we're first come, first serve. And with 150, 140 first come, first serve sites, you know, there's always something turning over. And so people, there's only a few times, you know, on a Friday afternoon, we're like, we're sorry, there's nowhere to go. We really are full. The overflow is full. We're completely full. But we probably had to do that. I mean, I worked every Friday this spring. We probably only did that like 3 or 4 times. So, I mean, we're down a little bit, but I mean, it really.
I was blown away 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and you know, if people want to, I mean, of course, all the commercial sites take reservations. Arches takes reservations. Dead Horse takes reservations. BLM takes reservations at Ken's Lake. So if someone really has to have a reservation, it isn't like there aren't other options nearby.
Right. And Dale, you were going to say something?
Blown away at the amount of folks driving at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night on a Friday night, driving all the way up to the Forest Service campsites, and people were camped all along. I'd never seen it. They were camped all along Sand Flats Road, up in the forest.
In the forest.
Going all the way up to the loop road. I was blown away. I'd never seen that much traffic in my life. And here I look at the figures, and we're down. So I think somebody wrote an article or something somewhere, and people are going, maybe they want to be by themselves.
There's all kinds of apps that like highlight where you can camp for free. And because the Forest Service doesn't have designated campsites up there, you know,
That may be what's going on.
yeah, they want to save $10 or $12 or whatever, and they
Or be by themselves.
Yeah,
But
I
I
mean. the
don't
last
think
thing
they
I
end
did
up
was-
by themselves.
I think a
Well,
lot of it
they
is they want to
spend
be
$15
live
in
and
gas.
free.
They spent
What-
$15 in gas to save $12, but what weekend was that, Dale?
Oh,
Was it in May?
it could have been Memorial Weekend.
Yeah.
I think it was Memorial Weekend. It was a. busy-
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm sure Sand Flats camping was full for Memorial.
Yeah, that was probably what was
Yeah.
going on. I mean,
But-
it was getting dark and I'm coming down, I'd done a big dual sport ride that day. We were coming down just for fun, you know? I love coming down Sand Flats Road just as it's getting dark. You know, sadly, it was full of fires from up in Seattle that weekend. But yeah, moot point.
Well, we had a kind of a different, I don't know, it was kind of a different group that was up there Memorial Day when I was cleaning up the next week. I mean, people, there was like burned clothes in the fire rings and people weren't using
Well, the pilgrims,
toilets
there were
and,
all kinds of pilgrims. Everybody that was on the road was a pilgrim. Believe me. They didn't know where the hell I was.
oh, but I will say this summer, I mean, this spring, we did have people, it seemed like more asking about, we want to camp on the forest, we're going to that porcupine campsite. I'm like, I don't know how many people are up there. The toilet's probably disgusting, you know, and we weren't even full. So they just didn't want to pay. So some of them I convinced to like stay at Sand Flats because
Well,
I'm
it was
like,
a little warm too. It was gonna be warm that weekend. And everybody's looking at their phone and figuring, oh, my goodness, it's gonna rain tomorrow. I'm not gonna go out tomorrow. So I ran a tour company for 20 years and if it said it was gonna rain, we just went somewhere else.
yeah, well, I think you're right though, that it is on an app because I feel like more people are saying, we're going to the porcupine. And I'm like, why are you going there?
But,
Because it's free. That's why
yeah,
they're
but that
going.
might be another aspect for Anna. Doing, 'cause
Oh,
she does a lot with like the trail apps,
right.
but there's whole separate apps about just how to camp or where to camp. And then it is kind of funny because it'll say, oh, this is bend in the road. And then you get to the bend in the road. And of course, there's 50 people there because it's on the app. You know, the next bend in the road doesn't have anybody.
Oh, well, send me to that one. Then.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta keep going.
Okay, let's keep going. All
And
right, so,
Andrea, yeah, my comment just about camping this, especially this spring for, and I'm only working on Thursdays up there in the booth. And how the camping trailers are gone from 20 feet to 40 feet. They're getting bigger and bigger. They're trying to find spots up at Sands Flats. And to me, it's like, wow, you know, they're just, you know, so bigger trailers are trying to go up there and we have like 3 spaces, you know, 3 spots to fit 40-foot trailers.
I know. Well, I don't know. We don't have any plans right now to make them any bigger. You know, our last campground, we made things smaller because we were trying to answer our surveys of you've left us out, us tent campers and van campers and stuff. So,
Bigger like it is.
yeah,
Well, anyway, the pets don't seem to be a problem.
the pets.
Yeah, it's a big part of your thing is pets.
Oh,
You
yeah.
allow pets, but they don't seem to be a problem.
No, not
Yeah,
too,
really
not
does
too
a good
much.
job.
Let's see what else. Okay, so volunteer day. I was just gonna mention that we held a volunteer day last Saturday. And we had under 5 people, but they had a good day out there at Medieval Chamber and repainted and puts Karens and raked and stuff. So Kathy Dickey was in charge of it and she said it went really well. They got everything done she had hoped to do. And then Katie, you wanted to talk about September 23rd, Public Lands Day. Oh,
Good, that's a lot.
All right.
Sorry, unmute. So if you could schedule one of your normal volunteer days for National Public Lands Day, that
yes,
would be cute.
Jason will
So,
do that. He already
Okay.
said that's fine.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I'm the one who analyzed the comments on the business plan because it did have a public comment period. And I would say there were maybe, I can't remember, 40 comments or so, but the most common comment was from locals about in the future plan to change the yearly pass fee. And, they were aghast that it was going up so much, even though it's over a period of years. And what we pointed out to them in the business plan, I don't know if anyone went back and reread it, was that anybody, and this particularly applies to locals because they're here, can earn their pass by a volunteer day. So I think and that actually is in the San Flat's cooperative management plan, that these volunteer days will be held. And it doesn't quite say, so locals can earn their pass, but locals can earn their pass. So on the answering of those letters, that's what I said, that this shouldn't be an undue hardship if you're willing to work 4 hours for your pass. And so I think I know you do anyway, but I think keeping these volunteer days as sort of a regular occurrence is excellent community outreach.
No, we always do.
How many people you get is less important than the fact that they have the chance.
Yeah, we do them every spring and fall, and sometimes we do 2 in the spring. We just haven't since COVID as much, but there's always a spring and a fall.
Well, when the rate does go up, you'll probably have to do a few more, because you'll have, if what I read in the letters is right, people will be flocking up there to earn their pass.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, because we didn't tell the group that that was the main comments in response to our business plan. And we shared those with the RAC board. And so OHV grant application, I am gonna put in first 1 or 2 grants for well, I was planning on it for a motorcycle and maybe another maybe another UTV, because our Kawasaki Mule is like 5 years old now.
Already?
I think so. It's pretty close.
That would be.
It's pretty close. That's our oldest one. I think it's 5 years.
Yeah.
And so anyway, those are due July 31st. So I'm gonna start working on that. And I know some of my staff would like an e-bike, but I don't think I can put in for that.
Instead of a motorcycle, you should do an e-bike or the newer like electric. They're
Enduro, okay. So yes, they did talk about that too. So we're gonna do some more research.
Yeah, they're light, they're easy.
And someone who's not used to riding a motorcycle can get on the Ciron.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know.
Yeah.
Motorcycles take a little bit more.
Especially on San Flats.
Yeah.
Well, Brendan McGann, he's my main patrol person, so
He's good.
he's-
He can ride a motorcycle just fine.
yeah. And then Kathy Dickey is, back working for me, and she's gonna work more days next fall, and she has been patrolling on her own e-bike some of the time. So she's
Yeah.
like, oh, it'd be nice if we had an e-bike.
If you would need help looking at grants, you would think one of these e-bike companies or anything would almost want to donate one just for visibility. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's not many trails to ride e-bikes, so.
Yeah.
Slick Rock
Especially in
is kind of-
Moab,
the
legally
best.
anyway.
And
Yeah.
she's doing her patrols on e-bike.
yeah.
so.
You gotta do it before 9 o'clock
There's
in the
gotta
morning.
be- I love the.
Oh, well, if you, I mean, she,
But the OHV one, is that through the state of Utah?
yeah, there's 2.
Yeah.
There's there's the RTP one, and there's the state one. And just as an update, I didn't have it on here, but just to let you know, I talked to Bill Jackson, and we will know at the end of June whether we got the raise grant for paving the road or not.
Right.
I didn't think we were gonna know till the fall, but we will know at the end of
That'd be
June,
nice
he
to
said.
know, yeah.
Be nice to know.
I'm looking forward to that.
But just like Rocky Mountain ATV donates tons of money for different things, and maybe there's an e-bike company who would feel good about the promotion.
And this,
So
Yeah,
it wouldn't
yeah,
be
boy,
through-
inspired.
okay,
You know somebody, and then you have a hook up. I don't know.
Well, and
Well-
there's a couple e-bike companies.
Yeah.
well, Kathy, I mean, her husband owns Double Down.
Okay.
bike shop. So,
Right.
But there's, yeah, and there's eMotion and there's several e-bike companies.
yeah, well, there's,
Oh,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you're recommending this, the Saron though.
Well.
I saw those at the,
A pedal bike would be
There-
fine. A pedal bike would be fine. It
There's a
depends on-
guy, sorry,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a guy renting them out of the zip line, so like
oh, I saw
Stop
that
light,
advertised there.
yeah.
Yeah.
there's a few propped up out there.
Right. Right,
They're pretty light, I mean, you.
Yeah. yeah. I'll tell you what, I just love my Orbea.
What do you,
I got one in Orbea. Pedal assist.
Yeah,
Right, so there's all different kinds.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices.
Well,
Well, yeah, whatever, maybe I can, talk to people, you
Yeah.
guys further, because I'll be working on that in the next few weeks. Okay, okay, great. So Evan, do you have any Grand County Commission updates?
I don't know about things specific to Sand Flats, they're, kind of, on a similar vein is. One of our departments helped San Juan County with, some grant applications for what they're calling the Spanish Hills Trail System. It's like down there by Mud Springs. And, they got $200,000 to get going on that, and, our crew has done a lot of the design work and has really been helping a lot. So that's a nice cooperative thing with San Juan County. And I'm not sure what the process is like in terms of EAs and when they'll start building, but there's a bunch of money, so it looks promising. And maybe that would alleviate some, it has the potential to later in the future also connect to the LaSalle's on that end.
Oh,
And so that might also kind of bring some traffic off the Enchilada and the Raptor routes and stuff. Years away, but they're gonna start at the bottom, and it's kind of below Hell's Canyon, which already has some trails, and so they could kind of eventually link together there.
oh, wow.
So
And the BLM. has
Tyson's
started-
working on it, right?
The BLM started the EA on it too.
What,
they
Katie?
already
I
started
said the
EA,
BLM
but-
has commenced the EA on that. You can find it on e-planning now. If you want to look at a map and stuff, it's on e-planning.
And is that a multi-use zone also? I
You mean as far as e-bikes go?
at one point, well, I know that there's gonna be the adaptive hand cycle
Right, and I think,
trails.
I think we might throw out whether or not e-bikes are included as a, as an alternative with and without.
And then is there any moto trail in that area?
Well, Strike Ravine. And there's a lot of roads. Yeah, and there's a lot of roads. So you can actually go to the same place on roads just by going around. So you can go from the valley up to Black Ridge on D roads, on dirt roads.
Okay. In terms of other county things, I'm not sure if there's yeah, besides the grants and stuff, I think that's it.
Okay. All right, Katie, do you have any further BLM updates that would fit with what that Sam Flat should know about, the committee should know about?
I don't think so unless anybody has any specific questions on any of our actions. Does anybody have any specific questions on any items?
No, I didn't have a question. I was just thinking a little more about that camping on the Forest Service. And the county has entered a contract with a group, I'm spacing their name, but basically they create visitor apps for areas. And so it will be like a what to do in Moab thing. And so it could involve trail stuff. It could also involve, restaurants,
Is this
events
Wander
that are
apps? Is
the
it a
Wander
Wander
apps,
app?
yeah. And so what's
Wander,
nice
yeah.
about it is it's proprietary. So rather than being like user generated where people are saying, I found this great trail and whatever, that we could control what it's saying. So it's not like on a hot day, go to left hand and do a backflip, you know, we can say. Go to the city pool when it's hot, or what, you know, like, so that could be a way to kind of like try to control some of the pilgrims. So, yeah.
I've heard this for a while now, but I have heard that the forest is gonna tackle camping. We should get it directly from them, but you know, the dispersed camping that's being shoved up there is not, they know it's a problem. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
heard
don't
that
think
they
they're
were-
gonna charge at Porcupine after it's remodeled. It's getting a redo, and I don't want to speak for them because I'm not sure of all the details, but I think it's on their radar for sure.
My understanding was that they were inventorying all the kind of like existing dispersed campsites, and then they were gonna designate them, and they would still be free for a while, but it would be, you have to be in a designated campsite. So it sounds like a long process, but like you're saying, I think they're underway with that.
Yep.
And there was some comment about that Porcupine campground. The bike trail crosses the road that goes out to the point there. And people like to camp out on the point, but then it's kind of like an 8-point turn to get around, and people wander off the edge in the middle of the night and stuff.
You're gone.
Yeah, so I think that they were talking, or they're collecting comment on the idea of closing out to the peninsula there. And
Right, and
that's-
putting all the camping in that area in the campground.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if anybody has thoughts one way or another, that's.
That's where I was gonna check out if I meet the big C.
You can still go. You just can't draw, you gotta walk the last. Thelma and Louise on it.
Well, I did know that, the Forest Service sent me a plan, the copy of the plan as a stakeholder for the campground design. And I actually didn't end up putting any comments. I had a whole list of questions. I sent them to Zach Lowe. And he responded right away and answered all my questions. And I can't remember if we emailed or we talked on the phone, but anyway, I think we talked on the phone, yeah. And so after that, I didn't put any comments, but they are going to eventually charge once they get all the work done, is what he said to me.
Do you know if they're gonna expand?
It was, yeah, it'll have, how many? There was some that I said, are these gonna be group sites? There was gonna be some group sites. And maybe 4 group sites. And then, oh, I don't remember how many individual sites. It wasn't like a major expansion though.
Okay.
But I think there'll be some more toilets. Shoot, I should have, I wonder if I can find that in my email. If I can find it in my email.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was described to me as a little bit of expansion. It's not like they're turning a 4-site campground into 50, but maybe, and who knows if there's 4 sites, because people just camp wherever they want up there. So it's kind of reining it in.
Yeah, I don't think it's that delineated. I think it's kind of a free for all.
Right. So they're trying to get a little bit more handle on it, a little bit better handle.
What's on the backside?
The backside of
The mountain there, for the campsites.
no, it's when you're going up the Sand Flats Road and you're kind of along the rim for a long time, and then it
First
cuts
come,
in.
first served.
It's kind of like
2
before that
acres.
part, right? There's a campground.
One
It
group,
overlooks Castle.
group
Valley.
area is
Oh, okay.
fine. One group site.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at this. Oh, you're looking at my screen?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. I was just about to read it to you. Okay, I was like, is this the right one?
It's really, they're not really doing much.
But that area you're talking about, they're blocking it off and you'd walk out there. It's supposed to be like a picnic area. And I was like, yeah, and I was asking, well, how far is this? Are people going to carry their stuff?
It is kind of one of those spots where, there's always the argument of, people who aren't as mobile being able to get to a viewpoint, and that really is a good one to. You don't see much when you're back by the toilets, but if you go that extra 100 yards.
yeah, you can.
It's, yeah, you're looking down on all of Castle Valley and the river, you know, it's tough. Not my job.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the one that has to put a rope across there.
Harden the area for the future impacts.
So these were his answers to my question. Yeah, now I should be able to find the actual plan. Whoops.
It's just above there.
No, because this is my question. Let's see. April.
Is it that link?
This was scoping letter, project page.
Let's see, project overview. Wait, is there a map at the bottom?
Well, I don't know, but we can really do much on it. Looks like they've got it for review.
I know there's an actual plan. Why can't I see it?
It left.
What?
So it left.
It left. Project detail.
Well,
I don't
it's
know.
more just put on people's radars, and if
Yeah.
the people you represent are interested, might be worth mentioning.
Yeah.
And it does pretty much butt up to Sandy Flats.
Project location. I know there was drawings. Sketch drawings. I don't know why I can't find them now. Oh, I haven't looked at it in probably a month, or not quite a month, 3 weeks. Anyway, we'll see what happens. It seems like it's gonna be a while. I don't think they have the, I guess they have the money to build it. Maybe. I don't know if they have the money to build it yet.
It seemed like they were doing a scoping.
Yeah, they might not have the money yet. So, okay, well, that's all I have. Unless there's anything else. We can leave 15.
Now.
Yeah, 15 minutes early. That's like a record for us. Okay, all right. Second, we will adjourn, Matt.
Okay, I'll turn off the recording.
Okay. so
Thank you.
For your eyes.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.